Alrighty, guys, we are coming at you with our third game in 4 days between the Hilliard Cybercats and the Brockport Blue Devils, not the same Blue Devils that we played earlier in the season. I also want to make some kind of Pokemon reference with the Brockport. And this is going to be a 4v5. The other team has, said that they don't have a support player and they're okay with it being a 4v5. So Brockport Blue Devils, right on you. I'm glad that you're still up for playing with us, and that's what it's about.
Absolutely. I think that it shows some good sportsmanship. It shows good mentality just to say, hey, we might be at a disadvantage, but we are willing to go through with this. We're willing to get in the practice. So definitely on the whole, on the map, it will not make as much of a difference in the middle and the top lanes early on in the game. When you're having those 5v4 team fights, that's another story later on in the game, but you're still going to get some really good laning practice. You're still going to have the jungle ganks in the top lane or the mid lane and be pretty similar. The big difference might be if the support roams a lot on the Hilliard side. So we'll see how that plays out. And again, very, very glad to see that Brockport is going to be playing it out either way. All right, we have the bans starting to come through here. So some targeting up in the top lane from Hilliard's bans with the Garen and the Tryndamere coming out, and then the Warwick going towards that jungle role as well. And the Jhin being locked in for Brockport's side. So looks like that's going to be what they're choosing for that 1v2 lane. He is pretty immobile, so it's going to be a challenge. Definitely, when you're in that 1v2 lane, one of the hardest parts of it is going to be getting farms safely. And a lot of that will depend on how Hilliard decides to manage the wave and what they're actually doing with that roaming. So we'll keep an eye on that.
Zoe and it could be. Oh, sorry, Peter. Yeah, I was gonna say it could be a comfort pick too, for the Brockport players, or maybe they're thinking to keep him safe in a team fight, he can stand back and ult if they're worried about, anything with that 4v5 like you were talking about.
It could be. With the ult there, I wouldn't necessarily recommend that for the team fight, just because then your presence as a champion is actually lessened for the Jhin, because even though you're shooting from a safe distance, you aren't actually there dealing as much DPS as you could. But it still does lend itself to a comfort pick. When we were scouting, we did see he plays a lot of Jhin, so you're probably right on that he's just saying, hey, this might be an unfamiliar dynamic in the lane, but at least I'll be on comfort. And as we're looking at the rest of these comps and bans coming out, we have the Zoe, the Rammus, and the Vayne coming out on the blue side. If I had to guess, that's going to be a Rammus going into the support role again. I know that is an actual bird special. As he says, I go vroom. And Rammus do go vroom. So
yes, that's quite true.
Yes. So and then we have the Kayn and the Mordekaiser alongside that Jhin. So the Kayn definitely one of those champions that if he gets really fed can almost reach 1v9 status, or I guess 1v8 status in this case. But the Mordekaiser as well, being able to take someone out of the fight or get a pick moving into a fight might be a good way to work with that numbers advantage. And very interesting here, seeing the Varus come out. So I wonder what these lane assignments are going to end up being. Probably a Varus mid or a Jhin mid. Not really sure which. Now, the Varus is something that you could farm very safely from a long range with in that bottom lane. So maybe they are just saying, hey, in the middle lane, we're going into a Zoe. Maybe we can stay at a safe distance with the Jhin, and we know that matchup, and then the Varus can farm from afar. Cho'Gath coming out, and I believe that's going to be a Cho'Gath in the top lane and a Graves in the jungle if this is locked in. Yep.
Around objective control, having that Cho'Gath there in addition to the jungler when you already are at a numbers advantage, that's gonna be brutal for Brockport to defend against.
And I would imagine we'll see. Oh yeah, okay. There's a swap. Yeah. I was gonna say I don't know how cheeky they're getting with their picks here, but maybe a Zoe in the top lane and a Cho'Gath in the mid lane would be a bit much. But you never know. So again, a little bit of a different dynamic looking at these overall compositions, but it is still going to be interesting to see now. Let's see. I don't know, since we don't have all 5 players, I don't know if they're in quote unquote proper order on
Yeah.
the red side, if that's going to be a Varus actually going up in the top lane and a Mordekaiser in the mid lane. So I won't comment too much about those matchups until we get confirmation as they head towards their lanes. But we can talk about kind of these champions for these players and what they've been doing with them. I know the Vayne is something that Gorf has been practicing quite a bit lately, something that he has gotten quite comfortable on. So one of those
Natural instincts for it, and I know that made him happy.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And kind of like some hyper carry insurance, right? So like if you're in a 4v5, one of the only ways that that can turn against your favor is if they get a huge snowball to lead against you. So maybe thinking that also, maybe this is just a pick that I want to play and flex here. Maybe it's also just something that if we do happen to get behind in that 4v5 early, we still know that if we just hang on with our numbers advantage, we have the hyperscaling Vayne on our side.
Yeah, and while we're waiting for our spectator delay, I do want to throw out a huge thank you to you guys who are tuning in and listening, and of course to Egg and Toast, our observer. I also want to say congrats to Daddy Disney and Hansifer from casting yesterday, two alums of the esports program and of Hilliard W Choir, and they did a wonderful job. So thank you guys. Once you're a part of our Hilliard esports family, we like to keep you involved as best we can. And speaking of Hilliard Esports, I gave a shout out to Mr. Williams, and I'll do that again. And we've had a couple meetings this week and have another one set later talking about middle school programs. And it's just really exciting, the support and energy behind this, the district's esports program in general. So thank you guys for, being there for us while we try to get this thing up and running as best we can. And Grandview Heights is looking to start a program and reached out to us, so we wish the best of luck to them. And yeah, just for this, industry as a whole, it's really exciting, and it's an exciting time for our students. So thank you guys. And I am Mrs. Sturman, aka Master Pants, joined by Peter Sturman Wilson, aka Aria Deva. Again, Egg and Toast, aka Caleb Crowley, as our observer today. So,
And I do just want to add on there, that is
yeah.
something as the coaches that we have definitely seen. It's not only the passion that we see from the students when they're a part of the program, but then once they are alumni, a lot of them do stick around. They want to set up scrims with previous varsity teams. We had another one of our members that wanted to set that up. So they try and coach the current kids. They try and be mentors for them. They try and stay involved. And I think that just shows that it's something that is really meaningful to the kids, and we're very happy to have them around. So thank you to everyone who is involved, not only during the program, but also afterwards.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, so now the big thing, Brockport could just win this with Skinnergy.
I was going to say,
to
whether there are 4 or 5 people, they all can have a skin. So
or all go faker and
true. No matter what, there will be a champion graphic that appears in game.
Unless there's some crazy client bug. All right. Okay. Well, you know what? The Varus matches, and they are all blue, purpley. So they are looking great.
Strong, honestly.
Dark, Odyssey, and then Varus. You know what? They already get a point in my book.
Yeah, I mean, coming into this game with the 4v5, I was thinking that there was a natural advantage to the Hilliard side, but seeing this Skinnergy, I actually don't know about that anymore.
I know. I'm
a little scared.
Brockport may do it.
I know I'm not supposed to be
I haven't seen
here,
that.
but
now I'm
a little scared. So
Ninja Rambus is pretty cute.
Yep, that is.
Put that with Kennen, and
that is an actual bird's second favorite skin in the entire game. I believe it's Ninja
nice.
Rambus. He was extremely excited when he got it.
That one's really nice.
So I think
that's why he likes playing Rammus, isn't it? Because it's a really cool skin.
That is what got him on the Rammus train. Choo choo, vroom vroom.
Vroom vroom. Yeah.
His favorite one, I believe, is Scuba Gragas. He would be maligned if I were to pronounce Gragas's name in that way, as he likes to call him Gargus. But to each his own,
Yes.
The Yone thing, there's also
Yone. Not Yone, Yone.
Vagar, Varus, Varus. Who
You
knows?
say Vagar. So actually, I would think it would be Vagar
It
because
is Vagar.
of,
That was confirmed by
or
the
no, I
creator.
thought it would be
We-
Vygar because of the spelling. If it's like, but yeah, it is Vagar. And
yeah.
yeah. Anyway, this could be a whole separate thing. Maybe we'll have like we should have a lore master with like a lore day with Hansifer
Yep.
and
The
names this
lore,
that all the things we can
the
do.
lore master fireside chat. It'd be
Yes. All right, so we're going to be loading on into the Rift here.
And so one thing that we also want to mention at the top of the screen here, the gold lead might be quite misleading
Okay,
in various
just going to say.
in various points in the game because there are less champions on the red side. So even if the red side is literally at a gold disadvantage from the start, that doesn't mean their champions are behind. That is just in fact because the total count from the champions is less. So
Yes.
let's see how they deal with this level 1 with the 4 instead of 5 members, still just fanning out, trying to make sure there's nothing going on that's a little bit risky for their starts. We do maybe have just either a Vision Invade or a Kill Invade going out. It looks like he's just checking for stragglers and maybe going to set down a ward before he... Yep, just putting the ward down to see where that Kayn is starting.
And that back from Jhin is really cool. Or the dance, I mean, from Jhin is pretty cool.
Yeah, that is my favorite Jhin skin personally, and it is a fantastic one.
Thank you, Egg and Toast.
All right,
so follow there. Very nice, very nice.
Moving out onto the map here, it looks like Graves is heading towards his red start, and the Raptor start, something common for Kayn mains to do. A little not standard for other champions, but Kayn can very easily clear that camp and doesn't even need a leash for it.
And that's why, that the Hilliard jungler was checking out and dropping wards and things like that.
Yep, and we do want to note here, as we were saying before, we now have confirmed it's going to be a Varus in the top lane and a Mordekaiser in the middle lane. So, pretty actually easy bully matchup for the Varus if he is able to avoid that rupture. So that's the big thing he needs to worry about when the Cho'Gath can CC him, and an invade coming out here from Groovin.
Yeah.
So
heading over to that blue side, since he has dropped the ward and so I wasn't there, he said, I don't mind if I do. Now, Grog is, we were talking about Grog support. Graves, is he an early jungler to the point where he would maybe turn this into a gank, or does he just want to take all the jungle?
He's somebody that isn't going to typically gank until he's at least level 3 when he gets the... Oh, we have a gank here, though.
Yeah, well, not a gank, it's just a 2v1. Got the flash out from the Jhin, then got that 4th shot off, but Miramis landing that knock up there.
Man, again, just that 2v1 dynamic is so difficult to deal with, and props to the Jhin for being willing to play it. But getting back to your question there, the Graves doesn't get any form of CC at all until he gets the slow from a smoke screen, and we have another bubble landing here, probably just some poke.
Ooh, that's brutal. Yeah.
Yep, some big poke.
I do not envy anyone playing against Asmooth Zoe. Kayn finding the intruder in his jungle, and I don't know if he wants this. Yeah, backing out through the wall, taking down health, but he should be able to make it out, especially this early.
And that actually plays exactly into what I was going to say. Great job from Groovin Peruvian for capitalizing on that. But Graves is fantastic into the Kayn early on before Kayn gets his form, and he's very good at invading and taking away camps. So not only with that numbers advantage, but flexing his jungle matchup, he's able to... Oh man, that's cool. Looks like he lives, but the Graves is able to kind of work with that to take over the jungle, if nothing else, even if he's not getting those early ganks off.
Yeah, and both scuttles going down to each team. Let's see, we got the Vayne down in the bot lane, getting that kill in that 2v1 matchup. Let's see, Kayn trying to invade for the blue here, but Graves says, oh no, and I think he flashed out from the Kayn, and there we go, like you were saying with that smoke screen, getting it. This looks like it's going to be a solo kill down for the Graves. Oh no! But Ashley says, oh, I heard that, caster. I'm going to go and get that picked up myself.
Oh, Zoe says thank you for the leash, and it's really hard when you're that jungler. You see your camps getting stolen to not want to get something back on the other side, but without the priority in the lanes, it's really not something you can do.
Yeah, it's tough, and he had the vision because he had the scuttle, but it just, you can only do so much. And Zoe is pretty long range when she lands, her bubbles and all her stuff. She's just a slippery little Disney girl.
Yep. The Disney Princess of League of Legends, to be sure.
Yep.
And
Right.
as we see this developing down here, we see that CS disadvantage in
yeah.
the bottom lane.
Possible gank. You see Gorf throwing out the ward, seeing it.
Nice root.
And flash into the root. But you know, Ram is showing his face back and coming. Not doing too much there, but they did get the flash, so we'll see if they capitalize on that in the next couple minutes. Top lane, top combat, you know, damage back here and there, and then popping their potions.
You have to commend that, right? In the disadvantageous lane, still getting the flash out from the ADC.
Absolutely. Flashing, there we go in the mid. That was a nice flash to avoid getting knocked up by the Rammus. So I'm very impressed. Like, good, you know, right on Brockport for you can tell that they're coming at this with a clear mental thinking. What do we need to do? Playing into a numbers disadvantage.
Exactly. Doing the best.
So we get Dragon.
That's for sure.
Oh! But the one thing I would have maybe not done is I would have not let Ask Noob get on this Zoe.
Yeah.
It's pretty brutal.
It's one of those things we've seen time and time again. When that is left open for him, he just crushes on it. And let's see if he gets his cane here.
Yep, looking zoom zoom vroom vroom. You say he kind of went back a little bit. Don't know if that was a misclick. Jin coming in. Oh, okay. Oh no, is he gonna make it? He's so close. Oh my gosh, you talk about clever. I think the Zoe wants it. She's going in, gets it. Oh my gosh, and then now this Jin is going to be left with nowhere to go, no place to call home as he goes under his turret. Zoe says, I can find you there, but oh, he made a mistake. He popped a potion. Are they gonna try for a dive here? They had some successful dives yesterday, but this is between two people. Oh, they don't even need to dive when you can just shoot them, and that's that long range we were talking about. That was nicely done on all accounts.
Yeah, you know, them almost getting that kill on the over-aggressive play from the Rammus there was so good, but then when the collapse comes in, they just don't have the numbers to deal with it, and you have to go for them, you know? Like, that was a good play, and in a different situation, it might have been something that they could have collapsed on and changed the outcome. And Zoe had just hit that level 6 soon before and was actually waiting on mana to be able to ult in for that kill on the Jhin. So again, a game of inches. She just barely got the mana to go in for that play before his back timing went off.
Something else too with it that we see is if you look at the differential in CS, in addition to kills, that's pretty significant. So, you know, in that mid lane, that gold, and in the bot lane, that's where you can really also see the pressure. Meanwhile, Bubble Puppy 1v1ing up top and getting that kill down on the Varus. But yeah, if you look at the differences in CS, especially from Vayne to Jhin, that has got to, you've got to feel that one as the Jhin. ADCs love CS. They're all about it. I can't walk. Oh my gosh. That he melted. He melted. He's asleep. He's gone.
Wow.
Oh
man. Such a clinic on the Zoe performance here. You know, he's so good at knowing that champion's limits and dancing in and out, using the CC after to lock him up for the final kill. Also have to give a quick shout out to Bubble Puppy in that top lane. When everything was going on in the bottom lane, we did have him getting a solo kill and then panning up for that second solo kill afterwards, so we did
no. And then you have, the Vroom, Kane backing away. Like you said, this is a time where you just can't be in your jungle. It's not safe for you there. They're just taking it all, and so, you know, that feels bad. You feel like you're getting, it's like a war of attrition, you're getting starved out. But there's nothing, you know, you can do. You gotta try to stay on the map. So he's going over, maybe looking for a gank top, maybe looking to invade. Right now he's on that scuttle, trying to get some vision down to stay a little bit safer. Meanwhile, mid, that is painful. It's gonna take down that maybe. Oh wow.
And the Mordekaiser barely living there. He's actually 3 levels down in that matchup. That's part of why it's been so difficult for him to work with these trades, not even hitting that level 6 for his ultimate yet. But he is going to make it safely back to base for now. We might have a
There is a gank in the top like we were thinking, but the level different tier 2 between the Cho'Gath and the Kane, you feel that. So now it's a 2v1, but he gets that kill on him, and then a redemption being popped down. But it's not gonna make it. Was that was a redemption? Is that a new animation for it?
I believe they did tweak the animation with
Yeah,
the
that's great.
with the way it comes down.
Hmm. It's got like a
Great
little
job from
extra
Riot on a
sparkle
lot
on
of
it.
these reworks and re-imagings of what they were doing with the preseason, and that was actually the Zoe. Just RNG allowing her to get a redemption from one of those minion balloons and then
Ah,
dropping it up
yeah.
in the top lane to say like, hey, I know you're in that 2v1, but far away from this middle lane, let me just say, here's some healing.
Yeah, here's some support from your mid. And there we go. The Vayne 1v1ing the Jhin, getting some damage down there, not able to get the fourth shot off on the Jhin. And you know, you could ask if you're watching this, hey, why is Hilliard trying so hard in a 4v5? But if you've ever watched anime, something, oh wow, oh my actual goodness, yeah, that's gonna be death there. But something was your opponent ever going easy on you, because they think you're weak, you know, or something like that. They always have to try hard and try their best and, you know, play respectfully. So that's something the students said and knew going into this. You know, they're not trying to rub anything in their face, but they're not, you know, they don't want to disrespect Brockport by not playing the best they can.
Exactly.
So,
I think that's the other side of that sportsmanship, right? It's like we're happy that you guys are willing to play from the disadvantage, but we don't want to try and disrespect you by playing as if we are not trying our hardest, right?
yep, because yeah, I don't want to make it seem like it's a waste of time or anything like that. There's still valuable things, and like we've said, there's been some really good plays that, in a different situation, would have gone the way of red side. So
Absolutely.
I do expect a Zoe ban for next game if we play one.
You would assume so. Yep.
Bot lane turret goes down. Now that Cho'Gath is a big boy up there.
He is. Yeah, he's already closing in on 2,000 health, and he is building one of those new, very, very strong items. It looks like working towards a Sunfire, and we might have a play here.
Ooh, Mark caught out, flashing out there, and still number disadvantage 3-2. And the Vayne taking on the Jhin by herself, getting that into the wall. Flashing in to come and help kill off that Mordekaiser, and he dies. Double kill to Vayne. Whew. And she didn't even pop the ult.
She did pop the ulti, yep.
Oh, she did,
so
okay.
It's a little subtle on Vayne. It just doesn't make her look like she's going completely invisible. It's only on the tumble when she'll get that invisibility.
Yeah.
So
I saw the increased attack. So.
Yeah, so you can also tell she gets a little graphic underneath her on the skin when she pops that ultimate, like a little, I don't know, like flower type of design thing, golden flower thing. So look out for there. Yep, exactly. And another fight.
It's called a fight as much as Zoe doing Zoe things, getting that damage, dancing between the 2v1. Ask Noob just on point with the sleepy trouble bubbles.
Alright, and more invading
meanwhile, we
as
have the
support soloing the red buff.
The red buff.
Oh my goodness. Oh. Where did his HP go? It was there.
It's like flashed before my eyes, but not even. It was too fast. Oh my gosh. Okay. And then we have Bubble Puppy. Bubble Puppy does attribute that top lane turret to his mental. So once he gets that down, I know he'll be feeling pretty good. And
that is the classic top laner thing. If I get their turret, my mental is great. If they get my turret, not so much.
Yeah. So.
Right, as they're moving in here, we're going to start seeing it be even harder for them to work their way back into their jungle. Even in a normal 5v5, oh my goodness.
I can't.
Wow. Yep, Zoe thinks. Kane just watching, knowing there is not much he can do to defend this turret, just practicing his color guard tactics.
And we've all been there, you know. Oh. Okay. Yeah. Now let's see if oh man.
The snowball has gotten to the point now where it's going to be very hard for the red side to do too much. Like I was kind of alluding to, in even a normal game where you're 5v5, once these first tier turrets and then starting to be second tier turrets go down, you really lose control of your own jungle. So then that war of attrition becomes more tilted to the side of the blue team in this circumstance. And We have Brick Trail going down, and he might stick around for this inhib as well. Might
Getting good damage. I don't
know.
Yeah, that might go down. Flashing in, the king gets there. Let's see. Oh, we got another flashing from the Varus. Oh, getting the root down. This could be it. The ult coming out from the Kane and the root from the Jhin. That was a team effort, and they did get that one. But then Vayne says, hello, can I dance with this? And you see Gorf wondering, but taking a actually it's a very nice blast cone.
I think you could see the classic thoughts in the Vayne's eyes. Can I 3v1 this? Something that you often see from Vayne's. But you know, maybe Groove improving, biting off a little bit more than he can chew there. And we have to say, great capitalization, not being afraid to go in for that from the red side, because a lot of times when you're in this position, when you're feeling like you're down, it can be hard to go for plays because you're just scared. But they saw that he was alone, they knew they could take him, and they did it.
Yeah, and even, you know, they don't have much vision now because they can't really leave. So Zoe could have jumped in and snuck in, but they have to try to make some kind of game, right? And so they did that. Now we are in the base. I'm pretty tanky Mordekaiser actually for a bit. That's actually impressive.
So he's actually in the death realm right now.
Oh, okay. So I was gonna say, man, he's 1v4 pretty well, but that yeah, that makes sense.
And we might be looking at the end of the game right here with 2 of the members down.
Oh no. Oh no. Goodbye.
Yep. I think, you know, not much to say here other than we are really proud of both teams. I think that, like we said, you know, it's very hard to play in circumstances like this.
Jhin ult coming out.
Great job.
It's a really cool ult. That's probably like my favorite ult in the game.
Yeah, the graphic
Jhin ult and that skin.
Yep. And
stay alive! Stay alive! Don't kill him on the fountain. Good. I'll talk with Hilliard about that. Nothing feels worse, and I know this has a squishy little support. Nothing feels worse than being killed on the fountain. That always feels pretty bad, man. But yeah, hats off to both teams. We'll see what happens next, and to stay tuned. You know, it's a numbers disadvantage, but everyone is at an advantage when you play League of Legends. Alrighty, and we in game 2 of Brockport Blue Devils versus the Hilliard Cybercats. Again, hats off to Brockport coming in, knowing they're playing a 4v5, and going for that. That, you know, is super respectable, coming into that disadvantage. So, last game was pretty brutal, but to be expected. I think this game, Hilliard is going to try, maybe not so much comfort picks, but some different things that they can test out and test their limits that they actually really do want to play and do. So, you know, not trying anything cheeky, but really trying to play unconventionally, because by all accounts, this is an unconventional match since it's a 4v5.
Exactly. Still getting that laning practice like we were talking about last time, where in the mid and the top lane especially, you're getting more of a standard 1v1 type of lane. You can see exactly how that plays out, but we do see those targeted bans coming out from the red side. Looks like the Zoe, the Cho'Gath, and Vayne, not something they want to deal with again, and I cannot blame them. I wonder...
I don't want to play against Asmooth Zoe ever.
Nope. And I wonder if that Akali will be going into the top lane, you know, something that you typically more see in the hands of Aspinu, but given what they were talking about with the less conventional picks, Akali can be picked in the top lane, and it might be something that Bubble Puppy wants to practice. So the Elise, again, something that we don't see Groove and Peruvian on as much, and a very, very difficult champion to master. So good on him for giving that a try, seeing what he can do with it.
And I like that, you know, she has a little bit more distance she can travel, and, you know, when she goes up and then comes back down on an enemy, and then with her cocoon, it can really make team fights. So that'll be interesting to see how he does with that. I have never seen his Elise before, so I'm interested. The Talon could be actually going over to Gorf, or it could be for Aspinoob. Probably
I'm guessing
Gorf.
that'll be Aspinoob actually in the current circumstance, but I know it is something Gorf
likes
was talking
to do.
about. Yeah, I think he was talking about maybe trying out the Vladimir. We'll see if he actually follows through with that.
No, guess he's not, because they banned it.
Or maybe that was an
Um,
accidental ban, or
they thought they were making it, and maybe now Gorp is very upset. We'll see.
yep, yep.
Now Mordekaiser coming out again. And the Pike, which I like to see. Ooh, banning out Swain, that's a good idea because we know an actual bird is brutal on that.
Yeah, the Swain
And
and the
banning out the
Rammus.
Rammus.
Yep,
Oh my
they're
gosh.
getting that support.
I bet he is like smiling ear to ear right now.
Yep, pulling out the ban on his pocket pick always feels good.
Mm-hmm.
And the Ash ban, definitely a very strong ADC in the current meta. Let's see what they decide to go with here. Going back to that Jhin, going back to that Comfort, I think that's a smart thing to do.
Yeah.
As these last two picks come in, let's see if we can predict where these champions are actually going.
Oh.
So that is going to
Callista.
be a Callista Bard bottom
Mhm.
lane coming out from them, and that will be the talent, I'm guessing, sticking in
Yeah,
that middle
sticking
lane.
mid.
Everyone just on the picks, no switching around from the blue side.
Yeah, so that'll be really interesting. Never seen Gorf's Callista, but she can be absolutely brutal if you want to just see your health disappear if she lands enough.
Now I
Of
wonder
the
here
ghosties.
from the red side if they've decided to go with a different 4v5 technique. So the two most common things you'll see in 4v5s if you are forced to play that way is either no jungler or no support. And with the champions picked here, I would wager it's no jungler
Jungle,
and that we're
which
actually
makes
going to have
sense
a
because
Jhin
the
Pike
jungler
bottom
wasn't
lane.
able to actually be in his jungle like at all
Exactly,
because of the
exactly.
invades. So that if that is, and I agree that that is what it looks like with that Pike. I completely understand that and respect that decision.
And especially when you see something like the Elise, this is a really smart choice because either way, with lanes that can roam to her, she's going to own your jungle. There are very few champions that can deal with an Elise and a support to assist her roaming in just 1v2 against that jungler. So maybe just saying, hey, we know we're going to have some high pressure ganks coming at us. We know that no matter what, we are going to be seeding those camps. So let's at least get some normal lane matchups, try and get some vision up and avoid the gank pressure that might swing those matchups.
At least get some normal gank matchups. At least, okay. And I do like that Pike can share the gold for a kill. That means
Exactly.
that if he gets the kill, then it's just extra money on the side. So that's a good strat as well. Again, for those of you just tuning in, this is Hilliard Cybercats versus Brockport Blue Devils. I am Extra Pants, aka Mrs. Sturman, joined here by Peter Sturman Wilson, aka Arya Deva, and of course our beloved Observer, Egg and Toast, aka Caleb Crowley. A huge thank you to those of you watching and tuning in, to all of our players and all the esports programs out there as this grows. Thank you to Hilliard for your support of this growing endeavor. It's really exciting, and there's a lot of exciting momentum with it, especially last year and into this year. So we're going to have a website coming up in the start of 2021 and some middle school programs and things like that. So stay tuned. And yeah, as we wait to see. Now, I will say, maybe last game, especially, there were some great plays from Brockport, and maybe it was because their synergy was so nice. We'll have to see how this looks in about a minute 13. But I'm excited. I'm hopeful. What are you thinking, Peter?
I'm thinking if this is the plan they're going with, if they are going with no jungler, I think it's a great adaptation. So a lot of things that you look for in multi-game series between two teams is actually how they adapt between games, right? It's what they're doing, and we can see not even if they aren't choosing to do that no jungle thing, even if we have a less conventional jungler here with like a Mordekaiser, Tryndamere, or a Pike jungle, we also saw them come out with some great bans. You have to
Yeah.
say that those champions specifically in their kits worked very well around what Brockport was trying to do. So
Yep.
with them locking in a couple of the same champions here, maybe they're saying, hey, the Zoe isn't something we want to deal with. The Vayne is not something we want to deal with. The Rammus isn't something we want to let run rampant on the map as he rooms around. So
Nope.
I think either way, great choices here made from the red side. And I really want to commend Hilliard for trying out some picks that they're not as comfortable on, right? Like, this is an official game either way, and you can lose 4v5. So them being willing to say, like, hey, we're going to try and use this as a learning opportunity. And,
While still trying their best, because like we said in
exactly.
last game, they're not going to
It's
throw it or anything like that.
it's still just oftentimes in higher pressure situations, learning can occur a little bit more easily, a little bit more deeply. So, definitely something that we even see on the pro level where you can bring out these surprise picks or you can bring out a pick you're less comfortable on, and it can be a great thing for that player to learn on. So, as we see the Skinergy here, what do you think?
I mean, like, but that's okay. But that the Blood Moon Tryndamere, I mean, that's just a really cool skin. And the Dark Star Mordekaiser, Dark Cosmic Jin, that's like some of the best Skinergy I've ever seen.
And sometimes people just don't own the skins, so like
Oh yeah,
that is,
absolutely.
I think, the person that was running jungle before, so maybe they're just locking in the pike to help out their team, trying to play around that different strategy, which they did
Oh
end up
yeah,
doing.
yeah,
There's
yeah.
no
No,
jungler here.
no skin shaming here.
But
Come as you
you have to
are.
say, from the choices they did make with the
That's
skins they
pretty.
have, like A
I
plus.
respect
A
that. A
plus would
plus
recommend.
plus. Yeah. And then we just have fun here with our Skinergy. We are loading on in. That's actually a pretty cool skin. The Asmoob has on the Talon.
Yeah, I believe that is the Samsung. What is it? Samsung White, I think. Talon.
Ooh, and we have the Callista joining up with the Bard, basically like taking his soul and be like attaching to it. It's actually really when Peter's done it on me when I've played his support, actually it's just kind of weird.
Yeah, you hear this
Feels a
big
little.
bell, like this very ominous bell, and then your champion just suddenly dies, and then all of a sudden you have soulbound ability. So pretty intense. Just
Yeah.
putting that in there at the beginning of the game for the Callista. But one of the cooler
Ooh,
champions that we actually don't see
Dr.
a
Jin
lot,
dancing.
and we do have an invade coming out here. Oh, this might get
Yeah.
interesting.
Let's see if they find him. They did. I don't know if Bubble Puppy wants this, so
Well, collapse coming in though.
nearby. Yes, yes. So now Bubble Puppy collapsing and the more flash out. And that was, that's a good choice. I think he knows Asp Noob's abilities from last game, and he does not want to give up that first blood that easily.
Yeah, definitely the respect flash saying not only do I remember last game, but I don't know who else is here, what else could be happening, and I don't want to give a kill this early in the matchup. So
Yes.
we do see
can move
that blue side knows they own the jungle, so that's why they're starting on the other side of the map. Like there's really no disadvantage to them for farming the enemy's jungle, especially if they think they'll have some priority in those lanes. So we'll see how that clear plays out, what Groovin Peruvian wants to do with his pathing. Already some fighting going on.
Yeah, trades here in the mid lane. This might end up in a kill. Talon popping a potion and going back in. But nope, just hardcore bullying him out of lane.
He did use his Ignite though, so...
Yes, absolutely. So that's, a summoner spell down for each of them. Mordekaiser doesn't have flash anymore. So we'll just see. I think he probably wanted to trade with him before he got too high level. But, he can still deal out the damage level 1. Now we see this 2v2 in the bot lane, different from last game. And so hopefully it'll affect the power dynamic down here. And Jin can get some more farm. Let's see, Pike going in though, getting that hook off on the Bard. Bard might be in trouble here, flashing out. Pike wanting more, Bard going around that where you'd expect, trying to dance away, and the hook coming back out. Oh, but not in the right place. Not anticipating that, and leaving his ADC to get a lot of damage down by the ADC in the bot lane. Oh gosh, that was first blood going over to Tryndamere. Both very, very low, but that was actually really nice and good, right on Brockport. Good for you.
Absolutely, and that is one of those matchups that can swing pretty heavily. It does go in favor of whoever gets the lead there, and we have
Roam. Smelling blood in the water on this Jin. Not quite getting it. Oh my god! Landing the W, and then Pike getting that kill in bot lane. That was a nice turn. Good job. I mean, I was saying, the Jin was low, and if you looked at Callista's health, it was actually way higher from the trade they had done before. But when they backed off and then Talon roamed, not able to finish that off, that good for you bot lane.
And this partially is just, some maybe unfamiliarity on the damage limits of the champion. You could see when he flashed in there, he thought maybe the bleed and his rake would kill him, and it didn't quite get it down. So, you know, great job from Brockport, actually up to a 2-0 lead here in the kill score. And again, looking at that gold total in the top, it is really not reflective of the leads. We have an advantage in this bot side. We have an advantage in this top side.
Asmoob going in for some trades against the Mordekaiser. Mordekaiser knowing to play carefully, even though he was killed. Tryndamere again against this Akali. Popped a potion. Whoa! And Talon doing Talon things in mid lane. This should be a kill over to him. Yep, 300 gold to Asmoob. Pike, swimmy, invisible. Hello world, I'm back. And like you said, the jungle is Peruvian's oyster, so he is taking the enemy blue buff, which for this game he says will be my blue buff. Pike getting caught with a stun, landing root W from Jhin. Bard able to take the journey. He dies! Whew! But that's full. Oh, nope, their Pike put the heal on. Peruvian looking maybe for the turret out here. We'll have to see. Pike actually wanted this 2v1. Let's see. Oh, flashing away from the hook. Nicely done, Gork, to avoid that 2v1, especially when Jhin already has a kill up on him.
Man, and Porcus Pig showing some great mastery on this Pike. Even though he is a jungler, he is doing excellently so far.
Ooh, Peruvian coming in. They stepped up a little too far, and there's some of that distance travel that Elise can do. Meanwhile, ooh, that's a really cool Akali, not smoke screen, I'm thinking of Breaks from last game, but her Shroud. That's a cool animation for that. Alright, so they decided, alright, instead of ganking, let's go and get this objective, and they head over to the Drake.
And you have to feel for an actual bird there too on that ignite tick. He was just outside of the little UFO heal that you could see when that final tick came through. It's one of those things where you're like, oh, I wish I had like 2 more seconds, but...
Okay, whew. Using the smite to get some health back. That was... Okay! Bubble Puppy going on in, trying to get this now under the turret! That's dangerous! Will this finally take him down? No, And it... What, I mean, just, barely getting that down there. 1-for-1 trade, the turret helping out his friend in top lane. Rest in peace, Akali, thank you.
And this is one of these things where as a top laner, you can wonder, wait, was that 1-for-1 trade worth it? And it was worth it for the side of Bubble Puppy here because the wave crashed into Tryndamere's turret. So Tryndamere is losing that farm as they walk back to lane, whereas the wave is going to bounce back to Bubble Puppy, giving them that minion advantage. So even if he knew he was going to dive on that, it's still a good play to go for.
Ooh, that is some nice dancing on Asmoo's part to play around the Mordekaiser abilities and get that single kill. Very, very clean. Bard taking a magical journey in, but getting caught out by the hook from the Pike. Let's see that the damage comes on the side of blue side, going relentlessly after this Jhin. Heal comes out, but will it be enough? He already popped a potion, but they're hungry for it. Callisto looking here, Pike blocking his ADC like a noble... Oh! That's so Talon. That's so Talon. He just parkours over the walls and kills you in the face. And I can't. Oh, man. Oh, my gosh. He's so low. Turret helping out. It was well played, you know. A little over-aggressive by the side. Not quite, you know... Not quite accounting for the Callista damage. And good job on blue side for focusing their damage and attack on Callista while they could and sending them on the run, and then Talon just being Talon, parkour, getting the kill. So annoying. We know those feels, do we not, Peter?
We definitely do. And such a game of inches on both sides again, because you have to think that if that initial Pike stun had hit after the hook, then an actual bird would have been in big trouble. We have another roam, though.
Rinse and repeat, flash out, that's smart. You do not want to be a part of that tower.
And then we might have another engage, no, thinking better of it. And then we have to commend Porcus Pig again. When he was blocking for his ADC there, I believe the Callista had her Q up, which cannot go through allied members, so... just saying like, hey, I'm not going to let you die here, I got you. And the Talon being the X factor as he so often is in these roam plays.
Yeah, so good stuff on both sides. And something interesting, you know, that just feels bad, especially in the 4v5. Bard likes to roam to get his chimes. Oh, that was nice Fortress Vagon. Going with that, let's see if they can get this 2v1 kill, getting a lot of damage down onto the Callisto, not finishing it out, but still chunking out her health.
Chunking out her health, and they got the heal out.
Chilling in the jungle.
They did get a summoner spell there, so...
Maybe a little PC or something. Meanwhile, this Tryndamere has been playing under the turret. I mean, that's... you know, that's right on him. He might die here.
He does have his ult.
He does have his ult, though. Yes, a Bubble Puppy might be in trouble, hiding in the shroud. Let's see, waiting it out, and... Oh.
Now that was a very smart play from Bubble Puppy there, using his shroud to delay, but we have a kill.
Yep. Pyke finishing that one off and sharing with his friend, Actual Bird, maybe overstepping the bounds a little bit there. Whew. This is more like it. I mean, it's, you know, this is a nice play from both sides. I like it to see it. Mid lane. Whoa, that is, okay, that's just a really cool skin too. The 2v1 against the Astro, he gets the kill off, but then 800 gold shutdown going the way of the Pyke. I mean, this Pyke he is doing work, you know, MVP.
Is 4-1 in a 4v5, incredible.
I'm impressed with him, good boy.
He got the shutdown too, he's going to be able to roam. This could be the type of thing where even if you see the numbers advantage for Hilliard, you see the Pyke all over the map, maybe he can create numbers advantages around the map, even though they're down as a total team.
You look at the CS in the bot lane, it's a very different story than it was last game. So we do have to remember that Elise is basically, except for a little gank here, that, you know, she's basically been farming up and going nom nom nom. So this will feel very different when we get to team fights, because they've just been taking the jungles. But
Elise is an early pressure jungler. She's not really built for team fights. She's built for early pressure around the map and skirmishes and picks. So not one that would have as much of an advantage in those 4v5s later on, and maybe another pick here.
Maybe getting caught out again. You guys got to be careful about the vision. Dodging the W from Jhin, that's nice. Improving, coming around, getting the cocoon and stunning. This should be a kill in the favor, yes, of Hilliard. Looking and turning on the Pyke. Oh, Bard ult misses, and Callisto ult also misses. Pyke going back in, does a beautiful hook. Yeah, Pyke just doing a great job living in that 3v1 while Hilliard looks to go take the Drake.
Yep, good gank on the Jhin there, and a lot of cooldown spent on the Pyke that he was able to bait out, so it looks like the Drake will just be uncontested. They don't have the members on the map to contest around that area, but
Pyke looking, I don't know if you want that, man.
I think he's just fishing, he's doing Pyke things. Pyke is one of those champions that can dip in and out, yep.
What is Pyke even?
I am not the lore master, so I could be wrong about this, but
Can you hop on, tell us what Pyke is?
He's like a
He killed someone, that's what he is. Now
that
was a beautiful flash. That was a beautiful flash. And the magical journey, it may not be enough, even now we're back from their friend. Go on your turret, it still may not be enough. Now Bard can stun you against a wall, so he has to dance around here pretty carefully, but that was pretty. That was a nice flash. I'm very impressed with the Porky Pig here.
So I believe he's an undead member of Bilgewater that's basically hunting a endless list of like bounties or something like that, creatures. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's something along those lines.
Okay, meanwhile top lane, they're doing top lane things. Yep, no man is an island unless they play in top lane.
The ult actually coming out from Bubble Puppy there, maybe just feeling unsafe in that trade. So we again have to point out that the bot lane, like you said in the CS, and also the top lane, actually going quite even in those individual matchups so far.
So, as we enter in, we cannot discount the Drake differential between the two, and now Elise looking towards that Rift Herald. Hit the back, come on, Groove.
Yes, a shout out to Bao for sending me a message here. He is called the Renowned Harpooner of Bilgewater. So,
okay, I like it. Meanwhile, Death in the mid lane, Asnoob getting that Mordekaiser 1v1. Pyke saying, hey, can we dance? But knowing that he really doesn't want to fight that level 10 talent. That feels bad.
3 levels down there in the 1v1.
Cocoon coming down. I mean, Groovy has been on Swifttail for a long time. Tryndamere flashing in, but being right here again, you know, being like, stay away from my friend, but all of that time gone on the Rift Herald, just resetting, and meanwhile, Porky getting another kill on an actual bird. You have to keep in mind how fed he is.
Yeah, this Pike is definitely the, it looks like the most fed member, certainly on the team, maybe even on the map right now with how much gold he's gotten from those kills.
And
he
they're
is
looking to top lane.
known.
Swimmy fast. And Akali might be in trouble, flashing out. Nice, good dodging from the Pike hook. I really like that animation for the shroud. It's very cool.
A little bit of a bait here with the back saying
a bait. He's evading. Yep, and getting that hook in there, landing the stun. And Akali, yeah, is gonna find herself in some serious trouble. Zilla probably doesn't have her ult back up. And that was a nice blast call, and he gets buying time until her friends come. Oh, using the shroud, and Pike still turning her attention there, but oh goodness, and Peruvian flying up using the repel, being able to live. That was very well played from Bubble Puppy, being able to dance around, outlast them. Yes, you can tell he's very happy. And he played that very, very well. And now they can look back to Rift Herald and actually do it. Hit the purple one, guys. The purple part. There we go. Okay. Alright, break that down for us, Peter.
Alright, so
Ooh, Jin getting the root out there.
Yeah, nothing falling up there. So like you said, very, very close. I think the kill on the Elise was just outside of the auto range for that Tryndamere. That would have at least been a trade back. And the Shroud being so hard to play around, like, yes, this Pike is fed, but if you can't see the Akali and a champion as mobile as that, you could see his ult was dodged out from Bubble Puppy. And Bubble Puppy's ult had come back up for that fight, which was the difference maker in that buying time.
Oh, and the Bard ult landing. And it's okay, he just kind of ran away there in a turret, doing a little dance to be like, I made it!
Pike doing Pike things, of course.
Pike doing Pike things, yes. And, ooh, Cocoon just directly into it, landing that hook, but again, if they want to do the dive here, right now, Asmove just taking the Krugs and just kind of waiting.
So they're waiting for the wave if they want to pull off that dive.
Diving without a wave
diving without that wave is much, much more difficult. And let's see what happens here. The members again just showing off their dance.
Dancing in the top lane. Ooh, Mordekaiser going down and
actually really close there on that 1v1 in the Death Realm. You could see that Aspnoop had under 100 health when he had come out of that Death Realm, and once he comes out,
flashing out of the Pike ult. That was a good choice. That would have spelled certain death.
That's one of those times where you are glad you were not caught shopping. I think one of those classic moments in League where you're in the shop, but Proving maybe caught out.
Using the repel, but not able to get away. The W coming out, and he is dead, and it is the Tryndamere that picks that up.
Yep, and Tryndamere, again, one of those champions that if he gets off the ground, if he gets really big, can be very hard to deal with in these circumstances in the side lanes where even in a 5v5, often two members from the enemy team need to come to answer him when he gets strong. So it could be one of those circumstances where he is going to assert that pressure and alleviate that pressure from his teammates.
Does he like airplanes?
I don't know.
Does he jump?
Airplanes, or if it's like grassy plains, or
that he gets off the ground, get it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, alright, we need some sweepers up in here. We got a lot of vision going on.
Just catching the wave here, nothing too much going on. They're probably going to go for this Drake, I would imagine, from the blue side. It's on the map and there's no one down there to contest them as they see the 3 members top.
Turn are 4-0, keeping in mind when we think about map pressure too. That definitely comes into play. Ooh, Pike maybe looking to be cheeky, just being Pike, maybe looking for the steal here, pulling away. Oh no, blue team gets it. Now we have a 2v4. This feels bad. Pike getting deleted by that Kalista. Now the 5 double kill going over to Kalista. Tryndamere running away, using the blast cone. You know, I need to practice my blast coning. Oh, flashing out of the Bard all. That was nice. I would say there have been some grand escapes on the side of Brockport, and I'm impressed by that. I need to practice my Blast Cone skills. I feel like anytime the Blast Cone, I always just end up going the wrong way. So these are some nice Blast Cone escapes as they knock on the door of the base.
Yep, League of Legends teaching the players about geometry with that in the center. So definitely got out some resources though from the blue side. They got out the Kalista ultimate, and she did flash in for that ultimate play. So it might be something they're looking to capitalize on later. And the Talon flash also still down from that previous ult from the Pyke. So in the Pyke circumstance, it's not a terrible idea to go for that steal. You know, this is going to put them on soul point from Hilliard's side. So if there's a miss smite, if he can be the one that goes in and maybe alleviates that soul pressure, it can be useful. Maybe a play here, though.
Yep, we've got a little skirmish in the jungle. Ask Noob landing the damage. They stun down, and the Tryndamere goes down. See Bard taking a magical journey. The Pyke's pretty slippery. Oh, but landing, and let's see, he just barely gets away. He has his extra health. Oh, but Actual Bird wants it. This is supportal combat at its best here. And he picks it up. I do know those feels. That's support. And then the Kalista picking up the ace.
And we're going to see him push in here for at least an inhibitor. Might back out afterwards for something like the Baron, or might just back out immediately and leave Talon to take care of that inhibitor.
He's so fast, and he can always come pretty quickly.
Knowing that their objective secure with no smite on the enemy team and the Kalista is going to be very hard to contest. Don't really have a real tank, but I don't think we're going to see the other team able to move out of their base. And as the Tryndamere, we did see him go down without using that ultimate. That's because he was CC'd for that duration. So I think what he was thinking is, if I can survive that CC, I can pop the ult, maybe get a trade kill. And again, just a game of inches, not quite being able to do that. And maybe
the swimming in, looking for the steal. Oh, no, not quite having it. They see him maybe. Oh, getting the kill on Different Peruvian. That was nicely done. There's lots of vision, guys. They see you. They see you. And now he's looking to pay back an Actual Bird. Talon coming in behind though on the flank. Porcus Pig paying back Actual Bird, but now being left to the mercy of, oh my gosh, Thousand Blood step down on the Talon, and he is huge! Can he get this? Run.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh. Seriously, MVP here. If you to Porcus Pig, no matter what happens, I am very impressed with this player. Gork does pick up the kill there, but that was kind of drawn out. That was pretty bloody, but there were some huge shutdowns that happened. Break
huge
this down for us.
We had 1,000 gold going over, 800 gold going over, 300 and 300 going over, and the cuts for all of them at the beginning of the fight. And his ult reset on that one kill was so close to going off, and I think they would have won the 4v5 fight if his ult had reset one more time. And man, you have to feel for him there, because that 4v5 win, taking away all the Baron buffs, if they had gotten that, if that ult reset had just been slightly different, it really could have turned the tides of this game, because now he just got so much gold. He's going to be executing these squishies from half health.
Yeah, you have got to be careful. Oh, flashing in there on the Kalista. Kalista kiting back. They're in the Delph realm doing Death Realm things. And coming back out. Pyke though is huge, and Gork might find himself bad. Ooh, okay. The Bard ult lands, but it's maybe too late. Let's see Kalista. Okay, so this is Kalista damage. The Tryndamere ult coming on in, but still triple kill. Okay, so this is Kalista damage. It sneaks up on you. That's what I feel like with Kalista. It just, like, she seems so chill, and then suddenly, boom, she's so fast, and, like, you blink, and all this damage happens.
Well, she can stack up literally infinite attacks with her passive on the E. So when that active pockets a ton of damage, and we're going to see a dive.
Okay.
But worth noting that Porcus Pig on the Pyke, his ult was not quite back up yet when he was coming in.
And that would have been very different.
That would have been the difference. So I think he was barely waiting on that cooldown, just trying to help out his teammate. And Kalista is one of those champions on the Mordekaiser where it's very difficult to actually catch her, even in the Death Realm, because she's so mobile.
Yeah. And what was it? I think there was a video some pro made or something about Kalista stacking up a bunch of things on like the Krugs or something and deleting them all at once.
Yeah, so
What
you
was
can
it? It's pretty
transfer her
fun.
Ren stacks from one target to another with her Q, so you can one-shot an enemy champion if you do it right.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember. If you're interested in Kalista plays, go check that out. Alright, again, guard, alt landing. They want that kill, but not quite gonna get it. Nice double stun there. Setting it up for the Akali getting the kill on that Jhin. Alright, and meanwhile, blue team has slain Dragon, and Elder goes over to Hilliard, but it may not make too much of a difference because he's now knocked on the door, broke down the Nexus turrets, and that will be— oh, boy! That, right on you, Pike, right on you. I'm getting another 1,000 gold shut down. Very different game. It still went the way of Hilliard, but both teams definitely trying their best. I mean, I do not, Hilliard did not pull punches to let the Pike get, fed. That's what it was. And so, hats off to both teams on, taking the circumstances and trying to make the best competitive, but, enjoyable League of Legends game they could. Wow.
Absolutely. One of the closer 4v5s that I think you would normally see, just a lot due to that Pike's ability to roam around the map and his teammates working with him to set up those plays. So great job to all, and thank you for watching.
And again, thank you, Egg and Toast, for being our observer. And thank you all for supporting Hilliard Esports. And stay safe out there, guys.